Why, hello, good morning, and welcome to Bill Ricardi's weekly Patreon update. I am, of course, Bill Ricardi, a creator and purveyor of fantasy novels. I'm here today to talk about what has happened this week, and this week has been very interesting. We're going to start with what's going on with my fan short story, the one for hitting 1,000 subscribers over on the fan mailing list, and of course, we've hit 1,150 plus since reaching that goal. We are a rapidly expanding fandom, which is great. So I'll talk a little bit about that short story and how that's going. Progress, of course, on the Blackstaff siblings is going to be covered. Quite a bit of progress on that as well. So, we're in decent shape there. And, of course, we will cover what is to come this weekend and some of the expectations over the course of the next few days. Let's start with the short story. The tentative title for the short story is Mind of a Witness. And the entire concept of witness is kind of a fantasy version of the witness cast seen in Heinlein's works, specifically, hi Loki, specifically Stranger in a Strange Land. I have significantly warped the concept, however. It's more of a reuse of the name than a reuse of the concept, although there are definitely some religious parallels, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But Mind of a Witness is the name of the story, and the setting is an alternate Earth, what I'm calling Othearth, or Other Earth. Othearth, which to them will just be called Earth, of course, consists of a similar geography to what we have here on our Earth, set perhaps 300 to 400 years ago. We're talking about the 16 to 1700 range, somewhere in there. It's never completely specified. The year is not stated, but that is the approximate tech level that you're looking at. But with a few major changes. Christianity doesn't exist because the entity of Jesus never entered the picture. At least the word never got out there. That's kind of the main fracture point from from our history to theirs. So they developed along a very different Judeo line as far as their religion is concerned, but they did evolve into a monotheistic society. So that's the first interesting point. They believe in a heaven and a hell, and in fact, they have evidence of angels and demons. So very much a different take on what has happened on the religious side. Probably because the whole evidence of angels and demons thing is a game changer, right? The reason they have evidence is because witnesses are able to draw on the protection of whoever their mentor or their master or mistress is, and using that protection, they can reach into the demon realm to draw power. Okay, so this, of course, freaks out some of the more religious people. There's a bunch of connotations of prejudice going on there against witnesses and what they can do, etc., etc. A witness cannot lie. That's part of drawing that purity that protects them, right? And they act as a surrogate for whoever they're witnessing for. They are considered a full legal replacement, and in fact, in most cases, a full social replacement as well for whoever they are witnessing for. In this case, that's going to be the Queen of the Realm, at least with our protagonist, Andy. So that is what's going on there. It's a cool concept, a really neat little short story. that looks like it might develop into actually kind of a short novella. I'm already at 8 or 9 thousand words, and I'm only halfway through. So yeah, it's looking like it's going to hit about 15 to 20,000 words. Hopefully not breaching 20,000. I don't want to spend too much time on this. But that's what's going on. That's the premise of the story. Those are the basics, and I'm loving the character development so far. We've got about 6 or 7 characters fleshed out, 4 of which are going to participate in the kind of main event of what happens in the short story. And of course, if it ever goes longer, we'll circle back to the themes of the other characters as well. So that's what's going on there. Oh, the other big difference, of course, is that it's a racially diverse setting, in that the human kingdom is bordered on the south by a werewolf kingdom, is bordered on the... I forget the exact directions, but we're talking about humans, werewolves, and ogres being involved, and those are the named races right now. Kind of the major players in what's going on. And the story revolves around both the cooperation and the tension of what's happening between the human and the werewolf nations right now, with a looming threat from the ogre nation. So yeah, a very different Earth than what one might expect, possibly because of that whole twist in the origins of the early Judeo religions, right? So there we go. Something happened along the way, something demonic or magical, or something to do with this change in the theology that warped the races, so that there's now multiple different races on their version of Earth, on O-Earth. So there you go. That's what the short story's all about, and you'll hear more, and hopefully you'll get a finished product in about a week, give or take. So give me a little time, and we'll be on that. But I have not ignored progress on book 2 of the Blackstaff siblings. We are out of Granite's arc for the moment, and we're back into the party's arc. And I have been developing the hook between this, which would be book 5 in Panos, and all the way back to early in book 1. There's a definite link going on there that I had actually planned, to my credit. This was not just a throwaway, although it may have looked just like a throwaway or an homage when I first wrote it. I knew that this particular aspect of book 1 was actually a fairly important feature, although it played itself off as non-important. I didn't get to address it in that trilogy. I am addressing it in this trilogy, which is really cool for a writer to be able to plan something that far in advance. So that's happening right now as we speak. Hints of that happened at the end of book 1 of the Blackstaff siblings, at the end of A Princess of Last Resort. So if you know what I'm hinting at, that's what I am plotting out right now. And I should be able to finish that chapter either today or Monday, and then we get really into the meat of the adventure, which is cool. That's it for Blackstaff siblings. The final thing is plans for the weekend. I actually plan to do a lot of writing this weekend. I will be working on Mind of a Witness, mostly. And there are a couple of things I want to do with rhythm and with cadence as far as the cover is concerned. So I'm going to start to do some exploratory work in GIMP to redo the lettering there. And then I've asked a couple of friends if they want to help out, and we'll see if they do. If not, I should be able to accomplish something myself. But I want to make them look more like the mainstream urban fantasy books that are out there right now. The feedback I've gotten from the advertisers who don't want to run my ads, but this is in the most constructive way possible, of course. They said basically it's too bright. Just too bright and cheerful for an urban fantasy series. And I'm like, well, the theme isn't that bright and cheerful, just the setting for that particular scene. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to actually incorporate the void into the cover and that will bring plenty of darkness. The whole shroud of darkness surrounding the main character thing, that's going to happen on Rhythm, although there will be that flash of brightness, in the center, but there will be that looming quality as well. So I'm going to work on that as well this weekend, or at least get some stuff mocked up so that someone who's better at this than I can have a crack at it. But that is it. That's my plans for the week. I hope that everyone is staying cool out there. We're reaching record warm numbers, I should say, here in Western Europe. And as I understand it, Central Europe is not doing too well either. So please stay cool if you can. Stay out of direct sunlight. Use your sunscreen. Plenty of water. And stay safe out there. Cheers.